Hi, it's Dr. Noel Williams in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Optimal Health Associates, sitting at our beautiful Ivy Room area. Want to do a review on menopause and menopausal medicine. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. It's particularly important to talk about right now because the FDA probably reverse their recommendations and high-risk assessment of hormone replacement therapy in the next week to 2 weeks, I think at most. Dr. Macri, the new head of the FDA, has done a deep dive into this over the last several years and concluded very correctly that all the warnings based on the Women's Health Initiative from 2001 were incorrect. There's a lot of data about that I'm not going to go over, but this is the summary, which is the person who, at least in Oklahoma, who's done the most hormone replacement therapy and started doing hormone replacement therapy in '97 when everyone else thought it wasn't really the right thing to do. In 2001, it was the wrong thing to do. It's very validating to see the science has reversed to the real science and not the science of the moment or the science of, unfortunately, big pharma. So if you're a woman and you go through menopause, if you go through menopause before the age of 50 and you do hormone replacement therapy when you start menopause, this is the stunning data to always remember. You get a 68% reduction in mortality over time with long-term use. If you go through menopause after 50 or 51 and start hormone replacement therapy, you get a 50% long-term reduction in mortality with long-term use. The difference is because if you go through menopause earlier, your risk of death goes up more, so you get a greater suppression of death across a variety of diseases the earlier you started. The Women's Health Initiative was in 63-year-old women who hadn't been on hormone replacement therapy, and they were put on the wrong type. So one of the things with hormone replacement therapy is people are going to say, oh my goodness, if this changed, people are going to get breast cancer. Hormone replacement therapy from the Women's Health Initiative data clearly shows that estrogen alone lowers the risk for breast cancer by 25% and breast cancer death by 40%. Their own study said, we've proven that estrogen is prophylactic for breast cancer. So when you use estrogen with natural progesterone, that's very, very stable in terms of the data. The thing you don't want to do is use synthetic progesterone under any circumstances. Likewise, if you're doing hormone replacement therapy correctly, you're never swallowing estrogen. Estrogen, when you're swallowing, it hits your liver and it can elevate your risk for blood clot and eventually for stroke. So the key thing is you always use estrogen through the skin, whether it's a cream, a shot, or a pellet, or a troche in your mouth. You always use natural progesterone. And then testosterone is similar to estrogen because women's ovaries make 400% more testosterone than estrogen. So it's a remarkably effective tool for mitochondrial function and making people feel better and extending their life. It's just something you can't swallow because the liver gets rid of it. So again, a cream, a shot, or a pellet. So hormone replacement therapy is great, lowers the risk for Alzheimer's, cardiac events, colon cancer, bone loss, then just clinical symptoms, depression, anxiety, vaginal atrophy, urinary tract infections, and then urinary tract infections in older women lead to sepsis. So again, hormone replacement therapy is great. It's life-changing for many patients and many women. I would heartily say my entire career is based on doing this, and have seen amazing results. And I always tell new patients when they're thinking about starting it, look around our waiting room and you'll be able to tell the women who've been on it 20 or 25 years because they look so much younger than their peers who have not been on it, and it's obvious. So hormone replacement therapy is finally going to get a clean slate at the FDA. Ignore the noise that says this is a mistake and it's a Trump thing or any of that baloney. This is actually science. We're moving to science with Dr. Macri at the FDA. It's a wonderful thing. So that's all I have to say. Take care. Bye.